What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys. Well, I wanted to talk about land. We have now done the group survey, so I have my 3 plots, and yes, I did thankfully, gratefully get a keep for one of my 3 plots, which is absolutely crazy. So, but Area 51, here we go. This is going to be super exciting. Now, what I wanted to talk about with land specifically is I've had several conversations just within the past 12 hours or maybe even less than that from when we did the group survey about selling land now. I mean, selling even the keep because, keeps are going for a pretty penny right now. And we can probably even look at that here over on Peak Monsters and see what the value of land is, especially if you go to like castles and keeps. I mean, these things are trading a little bit higher. Was this 30? Well, it's actually dropped down to 3,500. So this is actually the main point here. So the reason I'm not selling my land, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't, all right? I'm just saying that I'm not selling my land is because there is this emotional attachment. There's an emotional component, not emotional attachment, but an emotional component to land that I think is very, very different from cards, which, these are all NFTs, right? But, your land is one of one when you think about it. It's one of one. And not only that, it has characteristics that allow it to be included with certain specific groups, right? So we've all been talking about, Area 51. We all want to hang out in Area 51, which is Region 51, right? And so, looking at this now, sure, could I sell? Probably get a decent price, whatever the case is, and maybe buy back in later. Absolutely, right? And these are the conversations that I'm having where there's so much hype for land right now, as there should be, right? This is awesome. We finally got land. It's phase 1 is here. People are claiming, surveying. We're seeing all the cool stuff. You can now go and specifically get what it is you're trying to get. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't sell, and I'm not disagreeing that you shouldn't sell in like a hype session, right? Which is exactly where we're at right now. The problem is that it's like I said, there's an emotional component because we're going to go into a period, in my opinion, of where it's going to be a lull period, right? No matter what, they're not going to put out, land phase 1.5 in the next couple of weeks here. That's probably going to take most of the quarter. And while there could be some cool moments, some hype, some, Matt coming on talking about all these things, maybe they implement 1.1, then 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, right? We'll have incremental things. We won't get the full piece of it. We won't get the full 1.5 probably until the end of the quarter or the PI planning session that they have, the Age of the Minotaur. So in that way, there probably might be some good deals on land coming up. As I've said, we've seen the prices of keeps go down significantly. I think something was bought, the first keep was purchased for $4,000, and so now we're seeing even less than that. And if we look at castles are going, wow, for 35,000. But again, part of this is what I'm looking at is the emotional component, right? Emotional component of wanting to be with and around other people who you play the game with regularly. And so, we did the group claim, not the survey, but the group claim on Walking Key's stream a couple of weeks ago on his birthday. And that allowed us to all be in the same or similar close by regions, right? I think some folks got spread out between 48 and 51, but for the most part, we were all kind of within the same area. And again, a lot of that had to do with the fact of like, I wanted to be around people that I knew rather than just, some randoms and whatever the case is. Because originally I was planning on waiting all the way until the end. I wanted to get into the Shimmering Coast and into like region 150. But at this point, it's just like, nah, I wanted to be with a group of people because I know that we could work together, work to build up our land, our buildings. If you remember, again, this is not part of phase 1.5. It'll be part of phase 2. But castles and keeps are built or leveled up by the entire community, and they all share in kind of the profit of that, right? Or in the benefit and the returns of that. And so in that way, I wanted to be with people who are active. I didn't want to be like alone in my own region or whatever the case is, or with one other person, for example, right? Let's say they owned an entire tract or most of the tracts, and then I was just in there. I want to be in a region that has a lot of folks in it. So just in that aspect alone, right? Like I said, there's that practical factor of wanting to be around a lot of other people, but then the emotional component is then the fact that, well, I've gotten to know a lot of these people through the channel here, through Splinterfest, through Discord, whatever the case is. We've gotten to know many of the folks, and it's actually really cool that I can go through and see here a lot of my neighbors. So even just within Area 51, there's a lot of names that I know already. But well, let's actually do this. But if we go down to like 51.3, for example, 51.3, which is the region and then the tract that I'm in. I mean, these are all people that are regulars on the channel here, or people that I've talked with on Discord. There's Level Up Life, right? Instrumental, Stackin, Butters, D Rambo, Lotnig, VT Mac Guru, Vilson, like all these folks are here and part of it. And this is, again, as I said, like part of the emotional component. I know most of the folks around here, which is amazing, and I'm excited to build up land together with all of them. So, ultimately, I don't know where things go, if this will be beneficial or not, if I'm gonna regret not selling maybe some of my plots in the future, but I can say relatively safely right now that at the very least, the keep, which I don't plan on selling because I want to use that as like a hub for the community. I don't know who, how, or what. I'm just grateful that I was able to get it and that we have such an amazing community here that I can use it to hopefully give back and do some cool stuff with if there will be cool stuff in the future for keeps. And so, if you want to get in, I just realized that there's a bunch of plots for sale from Dehoda in 51.3 here in the 81 through 96 kind of region, or not region, but 81 through 96 plots. But ultimately, it's the emotional component of wanting to be in and with and around other people that makes this very different from any other asset within the game, right? Cards aren't one of one outside of Rooney. Licenses aren't one of one. SPS obviously isn't one of one. So land really does have that feature, which makes it so difficult to treat with pure logic, right? Like again, should I sell my keep? Could I sell my keep probably for like 3,500, maybe $4,000, just because it's in a group of really awesome people? Yeah, I probably could, but it has way more value to me than to get, like, if I were to buy, for example, if I was to like trade my keep with that other keep that's going for 3,500. I don't know who I'm going to be with. I mean, I'm not saying that they're going to be not cool people, but these are the cool people that I want to be around. So, again, I think land is going to be something super fun. I'm very bullish on it overall long term, obviously, because the team is very bullish on it. And again, this is not financial advice. I'm not trying to come to you with like a buy and sell. Where's the price going to go? Obviously, that is going to play a factor into things, and there will be a buy price, or there will be a sell price for me eventually if things go to the moon. But, for the most part, when I look at this, I realize that there's a lot more value than just the financial aspect to land. And playing with this amazing community and being able to partake in this next phase, this next evolution of Splinterlands with this awesome community has way more value to me than, the number of zeros that come after the price of a land plot. But again, who knows what happens in the future? Right now, I'm just excited. It was a great survey. We not only hit, obviously we got the minimums, but there was a second legendary in there, which is really awesome. I think everything else was minimum, but just beating the legendary by getting, essentially double that amount was pretty great. So shout out to everybody who did it or who participated. And to close out this video, I will just say, I'm not committing to it yet, but many folks have reached out asking if I'd be willing to do a second one. And the answer is yes, I would be willing to, and I may even grab another plot of land just so I can join folks wherever they are. But I will say this, if you're interested, head on over to the Discord and let me know. There's now a channel in there called Second Land Survey. Again, I'm not committing to anything, but if you're interested, I just want to see if we can even get 100 plots to begin with. And if I'm being honest, we probably wouldn't even be able to use DECB because, there's none left. Well, I didn't even realize that. So we won't be able to use DECB. It'll have to be all DEC that we use for the starter packages. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.